libarikiwe. Jina la Yesu libarikiwe. Jina la Yesu libarikiwe. Jina la nguvu zote.
Jina la Yesu libarikiwe. Jina la Yesu libarikiwe. Jina la Yesu libarikiwe. Jina la nguvu zote.
Bwana, jina la Yesu libarikiwe. Jina la Yesu libarikiwe Baba. Jina la Yesu libarikiwe. Jina la nguvu zote.
Jina la Yesu libarikiwe. Jina la Yesu libarikiwe. Jina la Yesu libarikiwe. Jina la nguvu zote.
Jina la Yesu lipewe sifa. Nimetenda mengi maishani mwangu mimi, ililoliponya ili jina pekee, jina la nguvu zote.
Jina la Yesu libarikiwe. Jina la Yesu libarikiwe. Jina la Yesu libarikiwe. Jina la nguvu zote.
Niimanilie kwa ajili ya hili jina, sikuwa hivi mnavyoniona mimi, Jina la Yesu libarikiwe. Jina la nguvu zote. Tuimbe.
Jina la Yesu libarikiwe. Jina la Yesu libarikiwe. Jina la Yesu libarikiwe. Jina la Yesu libarikiwe.
Amini otoka
Jina la Yesu
jina
libarikiwe.
usife
Jina
bure,
la Yesu
ulielezwa hospitali. Jina la Yesu
jina la nguvu zote.
likuinue tena.
Jina la Yesu
Lipewe sifa. Linaweza tele.
Jina la Yesu libarikiwe.
Amini
Jina
jina
la Yesu
libarikiwe. Jina la nguvu zote. Panguza machozi, inuka mama.
Jina la Yesu
Limebarikiwa. Limebarikiwa.
Jina la Yesu
libarikiwe.
Jina la Yesu
Libarikiwe.
Jina la nguvu zote.
Unaweza sikia.
Jina la Yesu
Ona mama. Unaweza. Utazaa watoto.
Jina la Yesu
Wewe unaweza. Aliyetenda kwangu anaweza kwako wewe.
Jina la nguvu zote.
Unayekuwa sana
Jina la Yesu
Yesu anaweza. Inuka tu amini.
Jina la Yesu
Bwana Yesu nifiche, niko chini ya mwamba. Ambia adui zangu, niko chini ya mwamba. Yesu nifiche, niko chini ya mwamba.
Niko chini ya mwamba, mwamba juu yangu. Yesu nifiche, niko chini ya mwamba. Ambia adui zangu, niko chini ya mwamba. Yesu nifiche, niko chini ya mwamba.
Chini ya mwamba, mwamba juu yangu. Baba amenificha, niko chini ya mwamba. Ninasikia ninatafutwa mimi, wanauliza niko wapi mimi. Baba amenificha mimi, niko chini ya mwamba.
Niko chini ya mwamba, mwamba juu yangu. Yesu nifiche, niko chini ya mwamba. Ambia adui zangu, niko chini ya mwamba. Yesu nifiche, niko chini ya mwamba.
Chini ya mwamba, sioni magonjwa mengi. Baba amenifunika na damu yake. Baba amenificha, niko salama mimi. Yesu nifiche, niko chini ya mwamba.
Niko chini ya mwamba, mwamba juu yangu. Yesu nifiche, niko chini ya mwamba. Ambia adui zangu.
That we can look at the allegations firsthand. So today, according to program, we are visiting Pastor Ezekiel's church. Tomorrow we'll visit the DCI headquarters in Nairobi to look at the issues that came up during the witness testimonies. So this is the beginning of our tour. We hope to verify any issues that came up during the testimonies of these witnesses. So this is the purpose of our visit, and it will help us to get a full report so that Kenyans can know, and Kenyans can also be able to answer the questions that have been bedeviling them. So for now, this is what we will do. We will go through these premises, and then tomorrow we will be doing the other witness, the DCI. Thank you very much. If there are any other issues, we will deal with them after the tour. Asanteni sana.
tunasema pokea sifa. Hakuna Mungu mwingine kama wewe Baba, pokea sifa. Nyota kule angani, jua laimba, pokea sifa. Macho yetu yanaona makuu yako Baba, pokea sifa. Yesu wangu, pokea sifa. Injili yasonga mbele kwa jina lako, pokea sifa. Sijaona mwingine kama wewe Bwana Yesu, sijaona mwingine kama wewe Mungu wangu, umekukaza wewe Yesu, baraka zako zinanyesha kama mvua Mungu wangu, wainua hata wanyonge kwa utukufu. Wewe Yesu, oh Yesu, mtu wa Mungu, abudu Mungu ikiwa amekupa nafasi tu ya kumwabudu Mungu. Naweza ukafungua moyo wako ukamwabudu Bwana. Wastahili heshima na utukufu. Tunaabudu, tunasema wastahili Yesu, wastahili heshima zote na utukufu. Hakuna Mungu kama wewe. Macho yangu hayajawahi ona Mungu kama wewe. Sijawahi kutana na Mungu mwenye uwezo kama wewe. Gani kitanitenga na Yesu Mwokozi wangu? Kitu gani kitanitenga na Yesu Mwokozi wangu? Ni kitu gani kitanitenga na Yesu Mwokozi wangu? Kitu gani kitanitenga na Yesu Mwokozi wangu? Ni kitu gani kitanitenga Yesu Mwokozi wangu? Kitu gani kitanitenga na Yesu Mwokozi wangu? Ni kitu gani kitanitoa mbele za Mungu wangu? Kitu gani kitanitenga na Yesu wangu? Heri nishinde kwako siku zote za maisha yangu. Kitu gani kitanitenga na Yesu Mwokozi wangu? Msalabani bora kuliko vyote, Yesu Mwokozi wangu. Kitu gani kitanitenga na Yesu Mwokozi wangu? Aliyelipa gharama zangu mimi, Yesu Mwokozi wangu. Kitu gani kitanitenga kwa damu ya bei ghali? Kitu gani kitanitenga na Yesu Mwokozi? Aliyenifanya kuhani wake ni Yesu Mwokozi wangu. Kitu gani kitanitenga na Yesu Mwokozi wangu? Ameniinua kati ya ndugu zangu, ni Yesu Mwokozi wangu. Kitu gani kitanitenga Amenipa vipawa ninatumika, ni Yesu Mwokozi wangu. Kitu gani kitanitenga, Yesu Mwokozi wangu? Ninasafiri, ninahubiri jina lake Mwokozi. Kitu gani kitanitenga, Yesu Mwokozi wangu? Ni kitu gani kitanitenga na Yesu Mwokozi wangu? Kitu gani kitanitenga na Yesu Mwokozi wangu? Mbele zako Mfalme natetemeka, ni Yesu Mwokozi wangu. Kitu gani kitanitenga na Yesu Mwokozi wangu? Nikufananishe na nani Baba? Hakuna kama wewe. Kitu gani kitanitenga na Yesu Mwokozi wangu? Nguvu zako zinanishangaza Yesu, ni nani kama wewe? Kitu gani kitanitenga na Yesu Mwokozi wangu? Baba,
Bendera ya wokovu wangu ni wewe Bwana.
kitu gani kitanitenga na Yesu Mwokozi wangu?
Uliyeniokota matopeni,
Yesu,
ukaniosha kwa damu yako.
kitu gani kitanitenga na Yesu Mwokozi wangu?
Kwa unyonge wangu umeniheshimisha.
Kitu gani kitanitenga na Yesu Mwokozi wangu?
Nini hicho Baba kitanitenganisha na wewe?
Kitu gani kitanitenga na Yesu Mwokozi wangu?
Mawazo yangu hayatapata cha kunitenganisha na wewe.
Kitu gani kitanitenga na Yesu Mwokozi wangu?
Wewe ndo nyota yangu ya asubuhi, hakuna cha kunitenganisha.
Kitu gani
Haleluya.
na Yesu Mwokozi wangu?
Kama ni pesa ni wewe umenipa, kuna wakati sikuwa nayo.
Kitu gani kitanitenga na Yesu Mwokozi wangu?
Kama ni heshima nimetoa kwako, kuna wakati sikuwa nayo.
Kitu gani kitanitenga na Yesu Mwokozi wangu?
Sijapata na sitapata na kitakuwepo.
Kitu gani kitanitenga na Yesu Mwokozi wangu? Sijasahau ulikonitoa wewe Yesu, Mungu wa milele. Kitu gani kitanitenga na Yesu Mwokozi wangu? Natamani nishinde nikikuwaza wewe, nikuabudu milele. Kitu gani kitanitenga na Yesu Mwokozi wangu? Ni ulimwengu hapana, nimekataa kabisa. Ni ulimwengu hapana, nimekataa kabisa. Ni wanawake nimekataa kabisa. Ni wanaume hapana, nimekataa kabisa. Ni mali yangu.
So when we acquired our own station, I decided we use our own station. But the other one was being used cost. Sababu tulianza nayo na ilikuwa tumeandika Newlife Nikasema badala ya kuizima, wacha iendelee, siku ile ataitaka tunampatia.
But is it still operational or you've left it now?
No, we left it. They switched it off, but I saw something on a TV, Times TV. I don't know whether it is the same Times TV ambao somebody bought it na akairudisha hewani, but it was switched off by the CX.
So you didn't buy it from him?
I didn't purchase it.
So how comes you, sorry, faster, but how comes you don't have the certificates that are displayed so that even these questions you're asking, you will be saying this is the
We have the certificates in our safe.
Okay.
Because I thought
A copy of it, even the media is what they
that
would
one
have captured.
I will do.
Yeah, it's
That one I
important.
On display, so that...
Or just on display.
That one I will.
And the payment, the
And
receipts.
also, I would like to raise an issue, Chair, that he facilitates the copies to the committee.
Yeah, to the committee.
Yes,
Just copies.
we will provide all the copies.
Yeah.
Everything, all the copies.
Okay.
Okay. How many young people have you recruited to run this massive media department?
Media department, how many are you?
We are 6. For now we are 6.
Now there are 6.
Good job.
Umenishinda maarifa nikakujua. Haleluya, hosana. Haleluya, hosana. Haleluya, hosana. Haleluya, hosana. Haleluya, hosana.
For education, when you are applying to start a church,
Yes.
you should be given time to
Yes.
go and get a certificate.
Yes.
But you never said how long.
Yeah.
The period, that's when I brought in the issue of the umbrella body. The umbrella body will vet the preacher.
Okay, like now for how long? You said you stayed for 2 years or 3 years under Pastor Moru.
Yes, before.
So your recommendation is that before someone starts a church, if he does not have the education, he should stay under the tutelage
the umbrella
of
body. This one now matters on how long one takes to finish his education.
Oh, so while he's applying, he should be under somebody else.
Yes. So,
Like an internship.
Like an internship.
yes. So that there is a body that monitors what you do.
Yes.
And in the meantime, you also go to school.
Yes.
So that if it is 4 years or 3 years,
Yes.
this now depends on how long does it take for one to finish his education or theological education.
But in that period of time that you are under another person,
Yes.
should you be allowed to operate a church?
It is good to be allowed to operate a church because there is a body monitoring what you are doing.
Okay.
But you know, if I'm alone in my church,
Yes.
and like here, maybe you can train pastors here.
Yes.
And when they are ready, you give them the certificates and they go out now to
Yes.
But if I'm alone in my church, I've started my own church, nobody will be able to vet me on
Yes.
what I'm doing. But by the time people know that I'm not doing the right thing,
Yes.
the damage is already done. So what we're asking is, do you allow people to start a church immediately, or you have to be qualified first and work under somebody before now you can even open a church?
Yes.
My brother has...
And that would bring me to the next question.
Yes.
should all the pastors and people who are engaged have a register themselves under an umbrella outfit, so that if somebody wanted to ask questions, then he knows where to start? That would answer his question, that when this person has moved out and is alone and he wants to open his own church, how do you monitor him?
The umbrella body is very important, in that when one wants to start a church, for example, I've been fathered by Bishop. Now, during that period, he monitored me. Then when I wanted to start a church, he even came to my church. We have pictures for that. And he said, now you can go. Now you can preach. Then this period that one is told you can preach, there is an umbrella body monitoring this person when he is going also for school or for the education. So he is not as independent as one would say, because he is under someone, then that person is also under umbrella body. So when you want to trace what this person has done, you just go to that person, then the spiritual father, then the umbrella body. There is no way you can get lost.
I think what he's saying is similar to what the Bishop Wanjiru was saying, that under the mentorship of a senior pastor or a bishop, that mentorship is based on some ideology or theological perspective. So once that man of God has been mentored to some levels, and based on the challenges that many of them are undergoing, because they are people with families, so you can't tell them to go to specific classes for 3 months non-stop. They have to take time out of the preaching to go for classes, up to the time the mentor is satisfied that this student or disciple is fit to run his own ministry. Then they can be able to be allowed in tandem with the graduation in the institution of learning, and then be independent, but under the mother umbrella of the religious organization.
So if I'm the registrar of societies for now,
Yes.
and I'm receiving application, the question that we are trying to answer is, applications are coming for a church to start, and I'm the registrar. Should I accept an applicant without a theological training or not? So you say, so long as he has the call, he should be accepted. I think that's what you are saying. But I think you're also saying that if someone doesn't have a theological training, he should come with a letter from a mentor, isn't it? And maybe that mentor should say, I have mentored him for a period not less than 2 years. And he's been under my mentorship, and he has that letter that allows him to sort of stand for the theological training, but with a requirement that he still goes to a theological
Yes,
training.
and the mentor has a track record in ministry that the government can make the government to approve of this person.
Okay, so and then there are these other things, You see, there are things you sign that will teach good things, will do what. There's a question we asked during the meeting, and we asked, how many members do you have? And you said that a register of 45,000. You actually told us you don't know how many members you have, but 45,000 is a lot. So in terms of the Senate recommendations, do you think we should also make a requirement that all churches write the names of their members?
The question is very important.
Yeah.
And I find myself running a quite unique ministry. Because from the look of things, when you look around, you realize that this place is not densely populated. And the people come here in big numbers, like yesterday. There were over 20,000 people. They come from all parts of the world. When they come to you, you minister to them. Then some people take flights the same day, take vehicles the same day. They go back, some go back to their ministries. They are not even members of your church. They have come for you to pray for them because of what is in you. Now, when I have to write down the members,
names, yeah.
who will become my member? Because from this environment are members here. So who will be my member? So it makes me find myself in a scenario or a situation. It's not possible on my side.
But are you able to do, for instance, like yesterday, are you able to record the total number of the congregants who attended the service yesterday?
It is possible, but the person who is writing or doing that will be very tired in the evening, because to write down 35 or 30,000.
You can introduce those what we call tickets, where somebody enters, is given a ticket. You enter in, you're given a ticket. And then at the end of the day, you count everybody, how many he has issued, and you have the number that today our congregation was this much. Just like in our big stadium. If you go maybe to Madrid football or something, you by the end of the day they'll tell you the attendance today was 68,000 people, and so on and so forth. Not necessarily the names, but you in your record as a church, you know, my members in this church, those who believe are the members are this much. But those who come to attend the service, they are not necessarily your members, but people have come here for that prayer or that ministry that they are coming for.
Chair, if I bring to the attention, the majority of his members are online, not physical.
Okay.
Even the greatest number of members of Newlife, even in Kenya, if I'm specific, I think it is more than 15 million.
Okay.
More than 15 million members of this church in this country, who sometimes they have never even stepped here. But when I preach, they sit down at home
To listen.
and they listen.
I'm just curious, from an academia point of view. We have our institutions, and I was, that day when I was with the senior council Cliff, he showed me a building that you are prospecting to do a university. What is your take on the theological degree that is offered in this country? Do you feel that there should be a duration, for example, an example, your case, whereby you don't have these papers, but there can be a leeway given, like 6 years, 5 years, and then someone partakes this education. And the whole aim is to try and reduce the rogueness that comes about. Secondly, do you have any number of future pastors that you're currently training or mentoring?
Yes, I have ministers whom I'm training now. Around, I don't think the number has reached 10, because we released another number. They are in Nakuru, other places. Then the duration that one needs to take to complete his education in theology, that one depends on the course duration. If I will say 4 years and or 3 years, while I'm not a theologian, one who teaches theology will say, even on air, Pastor, you don't know what you're saying.
No, I'm asking on your case. If the government, if we legislate and say all pastors who have a degree, what time do you think should be fair from a point of someone is already having a ministry that needs to be given? A case example, as members of parliament, there's a time we said all members to have a degree. And then there was a timeline for it. If we were to go that line, what timeline do you think could be fair?
Like if you say 10 years from now, all pastors who want to register should have a degree.
That one will help many.
If you say 10 years, or 5 years, or 3 years.
If you say 5, 6, 7, I think with the degree course, I think it is possible. But with those people who never went to class 8 or from 4, they will have to start from somewhere, then go to another stage, then another stage. So we have to cater for them, bearing that in mind. They have to start from somewhere. Some of them went to class 3, like my wife, and she's preaching. And you want her to have a degree to come back and preach. So when we are legislating such issues, it is very important to have that in mind, that we have people who, it is like one is gifted in one area, but has no basic education. Like what now the government is doing. They are going to give certificates to those people who never went to school, but they have experience. They have a formula they are going to use to verify whether this man has real skills or not. If we use that...
The question I wanted to ask you, sir, is this. And this is the same argument we have used in Parliament.
Yes.
Does somebody need a degree to be a pastor? Honestly, from your experience.
From my experience.
And what on that? You know, let's not allow the ministry or the church to be populated by quacks. Understand? Just like the medical profession, any other profession, because this is a profession, you guide people to the path of God, you pray for people, and so on and so forth. Now, if you allow it to be infiltrated by quacks, problems are likely to arise. You see, people will be conned of money, people will be misled, and so on and so forth. So, is it proper that the profession be properly guided so that those who are going in are people you can vouch for their character and their honesty?
I think I made my stand and I will repeat it. It is very important that we have rules that, because above all, even if you are a preacher, you are under a government, and the government has a responsibility to take care of the citizens. Anything that happens, whether in a church or a mosque or anywhere, people will cry, serikali iko wapi, serikali iko wapi. So the government has a duty kuangalia, how do we handle the church, how do we handle the mosque, how do we handle the temple. And kwa njia hii, iwe njia ambao haitasababisha pia wengine, we can do something for an occasion. Then sisi wenyewe tukaingia katika tatizo fulani. Sababu we are now thinking on how to regulate religious organization. This one is not only going to touch on church. Itaingia kwa mosque, itaingia kwa temple, itaingia, na ninaomba pia vile nilisema iingie kwa waganga, sababu zile vumbi na zile vitu waganga wanapeana, nani huwa anazikagua? Na kuna certificate ameambiwa ni traditional healer. So kwa njia ile ambayo itasaidia, if there is a way that the government is going to use ambao haitaumiza imam, haitaumiza pastor, and the government should incorporate all these religious leaders, wakae chini waone njia gani itasaidia nchi yetu na wengine ambao pia watatoka nchi zingine wakija huku, ili tusipitie hali kama hii. Hiyo inasaidia. If education is part of it, mimi nimeweka tika.
I just wanted to ask the last
because
one.
We'll have our session.
Yeah.
Ngoja last one.
My senior amesema kwamba hii profession ya injilisti, mimi najua kwamba hii ni huduma.
What
is the difference?
The difference between profession and calling.
Yes.
We have very many people ambao wako katika injili as a profession. They are not born again. They are not, they don't do what they preach. Kuna watu ambao wamesomea theolojia wakamaliza, na unasikia watoto wamechafuliwa, and this person has all the papers. Ambapo unakuta mwingine kama huyu ambaye hana papers, unakuta watoto wake hata wako safi. So calling na shule ziko tofauti. Inahitaji mtu anayeelewa, aelewe huyu mtu ameitwa na Mungu na huyu mtu ameenda kujifunza huduma ili awe pastor, pia iko na pesa. Kuna mtu ambaye anaenda anasomea hiyo, I want to be a pastor because this part of employment. Lakini kwa mfano mtu kama mimi, who employed me and who is paying me? So right. There is a difference between calling and pastors.
Okay.
Let me pull it for you. Yeah. He's a barrister. Seneta Wapoli. Wajua kuna wengine. Seneta Wapoli. Kuna So if we allow the ministry of the church about my mom, so that everybody is a free hand, that will take a problem. We need to have some.
Honorable Senator, unaweza kuta asubuhi saa 9 mtoto wako kwenye mosque ana dini na ni mtoto, utajiuliza nani amempa hiyo microphone, but they do because they are being trained. Yes, they are under somebody. So even pastors should be trained under somebody. Anaweza akatumika lakini analelewa hivyo mpaka anapohitimu pia anakuwa guided, now go to school, do this because
swala sasa ni kwamba when he goes out kwamba sasa mimi I've trained you, now I feel
yes.
You have the knowledge and the experience to go and minister.
Yes.
That's now when he goes out.
Yes.
Lakini kuna wale ambao ametoka shule leo, kwa mfano amaliza form 5 form 6 na form 4, akasema mimi naona shida, wacha nishike Biblia na nina mapene kidogo, nafungua kanisa yangu.
Kwa sababu kuna watu wengine ambao pia anasema shida imenizidi, naenda kutrain niwe na certificate niajiriwe kwa kanisa. Again. So, ukiuliza mtu wa kanisa atakwambia kuna watu ambao hawajaokoka kabisa na wako na certificate na wameajiriwa kama pastors. Endelea. The only area ambao pia sijajua is the area of the temple and the area of the mosque, how they work on it, sababu mimi niko na marafiki wengi sana ambao ni Waislamu. Unaweza kuta mtoto ana dini, anaongoza watu na watu wanafuata, unajiuliza na yeye amesoma wapi na nani amempa madhabahu. So if we deal with it religiously, it's going to touch in several areas ambao isiguze Muislamu peke yake na isiguze mtu wa temple peke yake na isiguze Mkristo peke yake. It is touching in several areas. So these are the churches.
Kuna ile where we do the regulation material
Yes. No, the church sir.
So this is where the actual meetings take place?
Yes, this is the building.
I don't know why I thought it was our tent.
No. This is the church.
When it's full capacity, you said it's 45,000?
Yes.
It's big. Do air conditioning or?
We are working on that. We opened because we were consulting an engineer who can put up food and activities.
So now it's just opening the windows?
Yes, we opened the windows and the doors. So this is the port. These are the screens.
Did you take
No. These people, members of the church, are always very honest and very genuine in giving. What matters is how pastors spend. Yes. Because we have never had a rambe, we have never had any. It is what they give that we use to build everything. So this is where I stand when I preach. And this is where they sit. I think some of them are even here. I told them if you can have some time tomorrow, you can be here. And most of them, one has a flag from UK. They have not traveled back. So yesterday we were past that screen, that flag screen. Yes.
Well, that's why you could estimate that's about 20,000.
Yes.
So for that large screen now would be about 20,000.
Yes.
And those are the physical ones?
Yes, those are the physical ones. But real members of the Newlife, they are more online than the physical. Yes.
Okay. Now, in terms of safety, do you have